Hello, and in this training video, we will cover creating patient statements. To access the accounting module, you're going to select the icon that looks like a dollar bill and invoices. The top part of the screen is the search area. This is where you can select the criteria for the invoices you're going to search for. You want to select a location, a status as active, an approval of all, and your payer type as patient, and click your search button. You can certainly narrow your search down by using other fields in the search area, but these settings I have selected will return all active invoices for patients. Within the approval column, you want to notate if the invoice is pending or authorized. You can tell by the word and by the color. If an invoice is pending and not authorized, you will not be able to print a statement for that invoice. To authorize the invoice from here, you simply single-click the invoice to open it up. Make sure the invoice is complete, and if it is, change the invoice approval from pending to authorized. Once you've done that, you may close your invoice, and it will return you to the list of invoices. Now you will see that you have a green authorized. When looking at your list of invoices, you may notice that the payer and patient are two different people. If you have a guarantor set up for the patient, you can see that the patient and the payer may be different. In this case, you can see that our patient is Lily Petal and that a guarantor is set and that the guarantor's name is Rose Petal. As you move across the screen, you can see columns for different things. We have a selection for select all or selecting individual invoices, your approval, your status, the age of the invoice number, your payer, which could be the patient or a guarantor, the patient name, invoice date, service date, statement date, which is the last printed statement, the amount billed on the invoice, the balance due on the invoice, and a column that contains a print button for any of the invoices you see. What I would encourage you to do next is to sort your results by the dollar amount due by selecting the balance in the header bar. This will bring your credits to the top of the page, followed by any zero amount invoices you may have. These credits and zeros can be created in several different ways. Let's take a look at a few. Notice here how you have an amount of $280.26, but a $0 balance. We can simply single-click the invoice to open it up. This was a paid invoice that someone unauthorized for some reason. You can see that there was a payment associated with this invoice. All we have to do now is authorize it and manually change the status from active to paid. When we close this invoice and go back to our list of invoices, you will note that that invoice is still listed here as authorized and paid, and that is completely normal as we have not clicked the search button to get a new set of invoices. In this example, you will notice that your amount is 0 and your balance is 0. You can single-click the invoice to open it up and take a look. In this example, you can see that this is a blank invoice. We can click Show All in the bottom left to see if there was any items on this invoice at any point. We can also see there are no payments associated with this invoice. Since this is a completely blank invoice, we can change the invoice status from active to void and select the check mark to save our changes. We can put in any comments we would like and select Yes. Once we click the search button, you will notice that those two invoices are no longer listed. You're going to continue to work all of your $0 balance invoices until they're all removed from the list. Now that our list of invoices is ready, we can select all in the upper left. Please note that when using Select All, it will not select one single page of data, but your entire list of invoices. You can see how many invoices you have selected in the top left. With your invoices selected, select your action dropdown and print statements. If you do not have the option for print statements, this means that you have selected some invoices that are still set to pending. Look for those invoices with your approval column or change your approval in the top, and you will need to fix those invoices or unselect them. Once you only have active authorized invoices, you will see your print statements button. The first area is your statement due date. Statement due date refers to the date the payment is due back in the office. You can select a custom due date and then either free type or use your calendar lookup to select the date, or you can choose from the available dropdown. For the statement message, you may select from an available option in the dropdown, or you can free type in the box as needed. If you'd like to do a combination of both, you can simply select the message you would like and then free type in the end. Mark Statements as Printed automatically defaults to a checkbox. This is what you want to select to track the statements within the patient's account pod. The date defaults to today, but you may also change this as necessary. Then you have your Cancel and your Print button. Selecting the Print button will give you a print preview of all the statements you're about to print. The top portion of the statement can be returned with the patient's payment. It contains the address to return the payment to, any payment methods that they're going to pay with, the bill to, which may be a guarantor, patient information, the amount due, and your due date. Below is a list of the patient's items and invoices listed within the statement. In the bottom, Revolution EHR will automatically put the balance or balances due in the appropriate category of how old the invoice is. You will also have a full amount due, your due date, and the statement message that you selected. You can scroll down to view any other statements as necessary. These statements are intended to fit on a full sheet of paper and are not formatted to fit on letterhead. The two-window number 10 envelope will also work with this format. We will close our statement prints. Notice the statement date column has now been updated with our new statement print date. You may print invoices by batch or age. This may be beneficial if you would like to select a specific message for older invoices or over a specific age.